Welcome to LaughNapkin. Today I have 4 stories for episode 4 of r/IDontWorkHereLady, so hit that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Armed guard mistaken for store employee. Lady gets arrested. So first and foremost, this is my first time posting to Reddit, so please, let me know how I do. Now to the story. So I work as an armed guard for Armed Truck Service. For those who don't know, we're responsible for picking up money and checks from other businesses, banks, stores, restaurants, etc. As part of my job is handling large amounts of cash, I carry a sidearm or handgun for those not into guns in order to protect myself and the money. Where I live, you have to have what's called a concealed carry permit to have such firearm outside of work hours, which I have. So I'm on my way home and have to stop at the store to pick up dinner for myself. The store I go to has employees that wear a blue polo and tan pants. My uniform is black pants and a red polo with company name on it. As I had just got off work, I still have my name badge on and sidearm in its holster on my hip. Cue crazy lady. I'm browsing the freezer aisle and she stops me and starts to ask where product Z is. She stops dead in her tracks as she sees my gun in its holster, stops talking and fast walks out of the aisle. I just assume she realized I don't work there and left to find someone who does. I go about my business and proceed to the cashier line. As I'm waiting, I get up to check out. In comes a swarm of about 8 police officers. They come straight to me with crazy lady behind shouting, "That's him! That's the guy with the gun." They point their guns at me and order my hands up. I drop what I have and comply. I state that I work for Company Z and that I have a permit for my weapon. They lower and holster their guns after the commotion and apologize for the confusion, but they said they got a call about a guy walking around the store waving a gun around. I say I'm sorry, but since I have been here, my gun has been holstered. Never left the holster. They turn to the lady and ask if that's true, that I never took my gun out of the holster. She yells that I'm lying, and that I can't have a gun in the store anyway. They of course go and check the security footage and see that I did nothing wrong, and let me go on about my business and apologize again for the misunderstanding. They then turn around and handcuff the lady who called and told her she's being arrested for misusing the 911 system and inciting panic. Not sure this entirely belongs here, and I'm open to comments. What part of fishnets and leather says I work at Walmart, you old hag? Oh boy, how have I not found this thread sooner? Have I got a doozy for you all from a couple months back. Okay, so to preface this, I, female 20, had an incredibly micromanaged childhood, so when I moved out at 16, I rebelled and dressed however I wanted to. I was what I affectionately referred to as goth light, which was totally left field for the town I grew up in. I started working the day I turned 18, and I've never had a job where I didn't have to wear a uniform of some sort, so my aesthetic was pretty much dropped off in the name of professionalism. I only dress up when I go out with friends, and I'm a graveyard shift worker, so I stop by our friendly neighborhood Walmart because there's literally nothing else open in Tiny Town, USA at 6 a.m. to pick up some brake fluid for my shit-tastic Cherokee. Let me set the scene. It's piss o'clock, and I'm wearing my Doc Marten boots with fishnet tights under my black denim shorts, some scrappy tank top, and a fire engine red leather jacket while I'm wandering the automotive section. Walmart employees wear blue polo shirts and I think black pants. Either way, there's no way in hell you could see my attire and think I work there. So I'm walking around the aisle looking for the brake fluid and I finally see it on the end cap. Then I hear the foreboding ahem behind me that I recognize all too well from the year I spent in retail hell. I look over my shoulder and don't see anyone, so I shrug it off and squat down to grab the generic cheaper brake fluid. Then I see this woman come rushing around the corner of the aisle and stop directly behind me. She's standing so close I can't even stand up. So I crane my neck and look over my shoulders like, what the hell are you doing? Now, this lady has every Karen stereotype that comes to mind. From the never lost a baby weight but still thinks she's a trophy wife, to the, and I'm not kidding, the let me speak to your manager asymmetrical haircut with chunky highlights that should have died back in 2007. This lady looked like she stepped out of a homeowners association pamphlet and drove her luxury minivan right into Walmart at 6 in the morning. To give her some credit, she did move through the customary "you work here, right?" but didn't give me a chance to respond before she delves into a series of like 5 orders and questioning about where something is and how I'm gonna walk my happy ass all the way across the store to get it for her. I'm just looking at this lady and waiting for her to pause for a freaking breath. Finally, she snaps. "Are you stupid? I want to speak to your manager now." At this point, I hadn't gotten a freaking word in edgewise, and I'm not a timid person, so I spin on my heels and stand up, forcing her to take a step back. She starts screeching like a damn banshee that I'm assaulting her, and I knew in T-minus 30 seconds, real employees are gonna come running. I stand my ground and glare at her. I said something along the lines of, "Look lady, I do not work here," and gesture to my fishnets. Before she can start screaming again, I put my finger up and shamelessly rip into her saying, "I'm glad I don't work here," and tell her she's a nightmare customer and a shit person. She starts hollering and I refuse to yell back, so I turn heel and walk away, and this audacious cow has the nerve to follow me, telling me I'm obviously a slut for dressing like that. Can't believe my manager would let me represent the company like that, and she's gonna have both of our jobs. I flip her off over my shoulder and pass one of the employees rushing into the auto section on my way out. I grin at him and say, "Clean up on aisle 10, soccer mom's off her meds again," and head for self-checkout. As I was leaving, I saw one of the local police officers coming in, obviously responding to the disturbance. There's pretty much always at least one patrol car in the designated parking spot at all times. We jokingly call Walmart the second station. I smiled and waved at him and got in my car and went home laughing the whole way. Woman high on drugs stops me in the middle of the street because I was wearing scrubs. So right off the bat, let me say that I work as a contract in the hospital I work in. I have my own little office in the pharmacy in the hospital, but I am not an employee of the hospital, just a contract. Because I'm contract, I can wear whatever colored scrubs I want to, and it's flippin' awesome. Best part is my company will reimburse me for a limited amount of scrubs per year, so I always have different colored scrubs on every day. It's nice, and I stand out in the pharmacy. So my badge expired a few weeks ago, and finally it was renewed for me to go and get a new one. Yay! Unfortunately, this is in a separate building completely that is away from all the hospitals nearby, but close enough to walk 15 minutes to. Good exercise. Fortunately, across the street from the building is a nice family-owned scrub place to buy my scrubs. Cool, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, go get my badge and some new scrubs. I get my new badge and walk across the street past the fire station to the scrub place. I pass by the huge back wall of the fire station to see a firefighter chilling on the wall, and he looks like he's smoking from afar, but he's actually on his phone browsing. Suddenly, this twitchy lady scares the crap out of me. Full view of the dude on the wall. Dude on the wall looks away from his phone to watch us. Twitchy lady staggering towards me with speed, and she has a nasty smell to her. Twitchy lady: "Hey, you a nurse? Nurse?" Me, confused and startled, speech impediment kicks in. No, I'm not a nurse." Twitchy lady: "But gestures to my scrubs. You're wearing scrubs, right? She gets closer. How are you not a nurse? You're an employee of... She turns around, staggering a bit, and gestures to the entire medical center area, and still visibly twitching. She continues. Somewhere over there, right? Me. I'm not a nurse, but I'm a contract of the hospital. I work on equipment. What is a contract? Oh, I get it. So you don't work on people then, like a nurse? Not sure if she understood or just started losing interest. She backs away from me and staggers around and turns back to me quickly. Twitchy lady. You got any smokes though? No. So you ain't a nurse, you don't work on people, and you don't got any smokes. So what good are you to me? What a waste of my time. She staggers off back across the street when she notices firemen on the wall. Hey, you got any smokes? Fireman gets off the wall and leaves back into the building. Shit, useless people. Got my scrubs and left. Twitchy lady was gone. Not sure why she was looking for a nurse just for some smokes. Not entirely sure what she really wanted a nurse for, but it was a memorable moment. I gave bad customer service in a shop I don't work in. Short but sweet. I was shopping at the local supermarket, wearing nothing remotely similar to the uniform, and had bumped into a friend near the soft drinks. While we were chatting, a lady interrupts us and says to me, "There's no price on this," and points to a 24-can pack of Coke. I had been cut off mid-sentence and was gathering my thoughts. Sorry? I ask. There's no price on this. She was right in that the said 24-pack of Coke did not have a price listed. However, it was next to a 24-pack of Diet Coke, which did have a price. So I told her, I assume it would just be the same price as the Diet Coke, pointing to the Diet Coke, then go back to speaking to my friend. She let out a little laugh gas combination and looked at me as if she could not believe I spoke to her like that. She kept looking at me for another few seconds before laugh gasping me again, slowly shaking her head and picking up the Coke and going on her way. My friend and I laughed when she went out of sight. What else did she expect from me? Did she think I worked there and wanted to price check it / print a new label? Did she know that I didn't work there, but wanted me to take time out of my day to sort it out as my time is less valuable than hers? Psh.
Well, that about wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and bell. By the way, I just started a Discord server for anyone looking to be part of the LaughNapkin community. Link in the description below. See you next time!